A creepy night on the streets of Knoxville. I used to travel around the USA and Canada hitchhiking and hopping trains. I traveled for almost 9 years, but this story happened during my first summer on the road. So this was 2012 and I was 18 years old. I was still pretty new to traveling, but I had been up and down the East Coast all summer, from Florida to Maine and then back down to Tennessee. I was traveling with a few friends, and we all sort of went our separate ways in Knoxville because we all had different winter plans, and summer was ending quickly. Everyone in our group had left Knoxville except me and my friend Cheyenne. We both had megabus tickets to different cities in the morning. I was heading to Wilmington, North Carolina, to meet up with some friends I would travel to Florida with for the winter. And she was heading back to her hometown in the Midwest. A friend of ours told us of an abandoned house across the Gay Street Bridge from downtown Knoxville where we could sleep. They said 2 people lived there, but that they were nice and would let us stay there. Our friends insisted that they had become friends with the people and assured us that it was okay to go and ask them. But when we got up to this abandoned house at night, both of us were too nervous to go up and wake them up. We decided we would hang out nearby and play Magic the Gathering and wait to see if we saw them coming in or out so that we didn't feel like we were intruding or something. It was this big open area with the abandoned house on one side, and we were across the way by some bushes and trees. Down the way from us was a wooded area that had a lot of trash and other junk around it. As we played Magic the Gathering, some homeless-looking dude stumbled up. He was clearly fucked up and could barely walk. He kept tripping and stumbling and almost falling over. He went all the way down the hill and into the wooded area. He didn't notice us at all. As soon as he went into the woods, we heard a crash, and he cried out. It sounded like he was tumbling down and falling and hurting himself. He screamed, and it sort of sounded like he was being attacked by something. We both were super freaked out. We even considered calling the cops, but we thought, if he just fell over and he's fucked up and yelling 'cause he's pissed off, I would feel bad calling the cops and getting him arrested and making his life any harder. We didn't hear anything for a while and decided to move away from the abandoned lot. There was a busy bar near a McDonald's, and we went behind the bar to the back alley where we were completely hidden and continued playing Magic the Gathering. After a while, we heard this blood-cutting scream. It was coming from around the corner from the bar in one of the neighborhoods. It sounded like a woman screaming bloody murder. To this day, I've never heard a more blood-curdling scream in my life. It was so terrifying that we immediately knew that we needed to notify someone. Both of our phones were dead at this point. This was before everyone had smartphones, so we weren't as worried about our battery life back then. It was late at this point, and the bar was closed and everyone had gone home. The McDonald's was drive-through only at that hour. We scared the shit out of the lady banging on the window. But we told her that we heard a woman screaming and it sounded like she needed help. It sounded like someone was running away and screaming. I distinctively remember it sounded like the sound of the scream was moving, like she was running. We didn't want to deal with the cops. They fucked with us a lot just for existing in most cities, so we were never eager to force an interaction with the police. We decided that we should get off the main road and find somewhere we can lay low and sleep for the night. So we went down the street and around the corner away from the abandoned house and the bar, and we found this little side road with a clearing next to a wall, totally surrounded by bushes. It was a good spot to camp. So we thought. We put my tarp on the ground and got our sleeping bags out and went to bed. We had barely even drifted off to sleep when we woke up to screaming. This was different than the pained cries of the old man or the blood-curdling scream of the woman. This was like pure insanity. Like someone screaming angrily, violently, mumbling words like a madman. Like the kind of mentally ill person that you feel nervous being around because they suffer from something so intense and violent that they are raging and screaming and making creepy noises. It literally sounded like someone who was possessed by a demon. And they were just outside our little clearing, on the other side of the bushes that were concealing us. We were both awake and looking at each other with terrified expressions. We stayed as quiet as we could until this person moved on. As soon as we couldn't hear them mumbling anymore, we decided to pack up and just walk until we weren't on this side of town at all anymore. We walked back towards Gay Street, and to make everything even more annoying, it started raining on us. There was an office building near the Gay Street Bridge with a parking garage, and we decided to just go sleep in there. We figured it would at least be safe from all the weird shit going on behind us, after getting maybe 45 minutes of sleep. We are woken up in the parking garage by a police officer shining flashlights in our eyes, telling us we had to move along. By then, The sun was coming up, people were showing up to the parking garage and seeing some people camped out on the back corner. To this day, I have no idea why so many weird and terrifying things kept happening in one small block area. But I spent the next 7 to 8 years on the road and had many sleepless nights, gotten woken up by cops or sprinkler systems we didn't know about. I've had encounters with crazy bums, but never anything like that night.